Welcome to Enjoying Everyday Life. Have you ever felt like a storm came blowing through your life and you were left suddenly hopeless and unsure of the future? I know I've felt that way. Your storm may have been a physical one, or it may have been more of an emotional trauma like mine was. We all need hope in desperate times. I have a story for you today that will stir up your heart and your hope. At Joyce Meyer Ministries, we believe it's vital to share the love of Christ not only through preaching the good news of the gospel, but through meeting the physical needs of people as well. Natural disasters are one of the most catastrophic events, shaking people's lives to the core. Through Hand of Hope, the outreach arm of Joyce Meyer Ministries, we're able to help people rebuild their lives and experience God's goodness, even in the midst of all their pain. Hurricane Ian made landfall in southwest Florida as a Category 4 storm. Watch this and be inspired that God has a way for you even when there seems to be no way.
It was horrible. Couldn't even see my home. There was water everywhere, like all the cars were underwater. There was power lines. People were trying to get out of their house and couldn't. It was terrible.
As soon as we walked inside, I mean, obviously you could smell mold. You could see the water lines on the walls about 2 feet up. It hurt, to be honest with you, seeing it for the first time.
I think the hardest part was just trying to just stay calm, because there's nothing that can prepare you for a moment like this.
It's hard to believe right now, but the place where I'm standing was once a busy touristy area, quite iconic here at Fort Myers Beach in Florida. You can see now that that has changed drastically, and it happened when Hurricane Ian blew through this area, devastating so many areas. Ian hit in September of 2022, months ago. As you can see, it takes a long time to recover from something so deadly. Today, we are so grateful that you have sent us to be here, not only right when that hurricane happened, but continuing to work to help families rebuild. Families like the Sheridan family, who today we are going to surprise with a wonderful trip through their house that has been completely restored. You are not going to want to miss this.
It was intense. It was one of the most powerful storms in history, and we stayed in our home, and it was honestly frightening. You're sitting in your home. I think we sat in the eye wall of the storm, our area, for about 6.5 hours. So you're talking about 100+ mile-an-hour winds just relentlessly blowing. And I'm worried about my own home, but I'm also a pastor of a church, and I'm just sitting there feeling overwhelmed. Like, how in the world are we gonna respond to this?
The hurricane was the first disaster to hit the area. The second came 2 days later, historic flooding that caught everyone by surprise.
Over 1,000 people were evacuated instantaneously from their homes. They were brought to shelters 2 days after the storm where there was no provisions for them. I got a text message from Joyce Meyer Ministry and Hand of Hope asking us what we needed. And the gift we received was one of the largest, most significant offerings our church has ever received. At the time we needed it the most. We were able to go and buy air mattresses, blankets, pillows. People were evacuated with babies that had no diapers and wipes and no toothbrushes. I mean, all the essential things, they had nothing. We were able to provide gift cards to grocery stores, to local stores for people to be able to get supplies, literally thousands of dollars worth of resources right here in our community. Not only did Joyce Meyer Ministry and Hand of Hope send financial resources, but there was a truckload of absolutely essential resources that came into our community. It was such a providential, incredible moment, the moment that the truck showed up with blessing buckets and water and all the resources that we were able to distribute. Ultimately, we figure on a conservative level, we were able to serve well over 15,000 people in our community. Phase 2 was we wanted to move on towards how do we help people rebuild? How do we help people fully recover from the hurricane? We identified more than 20 families that had lost their homes, that we were able to provide counseling. We wanted to not only just care for their practical needs, we wanted to care for their mental and spiritual health as well.
God, I thank you for Carol. God, I thank you for just her family, her willingness to come out so far, just to be able to supply the needs of her family, God.
There was such traumatic moments that happened, especially for those that lost their homes. Like many of them were in the homes when ceilings fell in or flood waters came through. And you know, I think of a family in our church, an amazing family. He's a police officer, and he was on duty because when there's a hurricane, all of the police officers are called in, so he wasn't able to be with his family. The mom is riding out the storm with 2 babies, and they start losing their home.
Water started coming in every room. So I was like, I hurried up and grabbed what I could. I got us into our master bedroom. I was just praying that it would stay dry. If I had to keep reassuring the kids that everything was gonna be okay. And honestly, I was just fearing for my life at that point because I lost all cell phone connection. So my phone went SOS and I had no way of contacting anyone.
Last thing she tells me, hey, water coming through the roof. I can hear all the fire smoke detectors going off. And I know my son hates that. And next you know, that's the last thing I hear from her. And we're not even halfway through the hurricane. And all that's going on, and I could just see outside from where we were stationed at. You see all this debris flying, you see our patrol vehicles getting hit, and I just can't even imagine what's going on at home right now.
The only thing that kept me sane was just knowing that God was going to see me through this and that, you know, we were gonna be okay. We were gonna make it through. I think the hardest part was just trying to just stay calm because there's nothing that can prepare you for a moment like this. And it's still hard to process to this day.
We finally were able to get to my house. As I'm walking up to the house, I could hear all the smoke detectors going off. And next thing I'm knocking on the back door, and next thing I could just see, I see her light, a flashlight coming around the corner. I was just like, thank God, like all the pressure was released off me. I was like, she's fine, she's okay, she's fine, the kids are good. She opens the sliding door. She's holding Emberly. I literally gave her a hug, kiss her on the forehead, and we just basically break down right there.
Through the financial gift that Joyce Meyer Ministries Hand of Hope gave to Coast Life Church, families like the Etiennes were able to take care of their immediate needs and begin the rebuilding process.
We just really can't thank you guys enough for all that you've done, not even just for us, but the other families that were blessed because of this.
I just want to say thank you for the fast response. Sometimes it may take a while to know what's actually going on, but as you guys were prepared, you guys knew that there was a hurricane coming, especially how strong it was. It was gonna hit no matter what. It has helped us so much.
Just being able to provide money for the insurance deductible, helping us get back on our feet with buying new furniture, buying essential needs, gift cards, all of that, being able to kind of help us rebuild our life. We just really appreciate that you guys were able to assist with this because it has made a huge impact, not only on our family, but this whole community.
Danielle Vigas and her 2 sons lost almost everything in their rental home. They say they are grateful for the help they received.
We lost pretty much 90% of what we own, all of our furniture, everything that was touching the ground has mold on it.
It was just super scary going through that. Like, that was the first time I've ever been that scared in my whole life.
I'm a single mother of 2 kids. There is no way that I would be able to refurnish my house, buy the kids brand new wardrobes. Like, there's no way I would be able to do that on the income that I make. It's just an absolute blessing, and I just know that God's hand was all over all of it, so thank you.
We lost everything, but the amount of support that we've had in this, like, coming through this is incredible. Like she said, it's just one thing after the next. Like, we've had all the needs that we've had them met. Just like the support from everyone has been amazing.
After a disaster, one of the biggest needs is food. And through our partnership with Mercy Chefs, we helped provide more than 200,000 good, hot meals to hurricane victims and first responders. Working together with 8 Days of Hope, we helped more than 200 families with debris removal and cleanup of their flood-damaged homes.
When we see devastation like this, when we see situations like mothers holding hungry children, or people who have no access to as simple medical care as an aspirin that would relieve their suffering, we often feel like there's nothing we can do to help, like the problem's too big. That is not true. We are here today doing some amazing things to help after a natural disaster. There is so much that you can do. So we invite you right now to give a special gift to help in disaster situations like this and all kinds of problems all over the world, that God opens doors for us to make a difference in together. And let me tell you what's even better. As we're doing it, we get to share His love. We get to tell them about Jesus. I ask you today to consider giving a special gift toward all of our outreaches at Joyce Meyer Ministries. Hand of Hope is making a difference all over the world, and you can be part of it. Please go to our website, joycemeyer.org. Give us a call today and do your very best to share Christ and love people all over the world.
And this is what it's all about. Helping people like Maria Sheridan and her 3 children at their time of greatest need. The family was devastated when they returned to their home in Port Charlotte. Kayla Sheridan was the first to see the damage.
The first thing I saw when I came to the street was just trees and water everywhere. Like, I was walking in the water and it was past my waist. Wires everywhere, there was big branches everywhere, it was dangerous. A couple days later, I got to see all my stuff, my room and everything was gone. Like, my bed had mold all over it. Through Port Charlotte, it was crazy. Like, there was stuff everywhere. You couldn't even drive safely. I felt so bad for people's homes. It was traumatic.
Trauma is something the Sheridan family has experienced again and again. Maria lost her husband Larry to cancer in 2011, and a few years later, she lost a son. She worked multiple jobs, 60 to 80 hours a week after her husband's death, and now she's facing the devastating damage of Ian.
Well, Kayla, she have a lot, like a panic attack. I tried to be to her, no worry, because she keep on said that we lose our house, the daddy give it to us, what we could do. And I said, no matter what we could do, and I said, see, we need to leave. At the bridge, I said, but we okay, we're together. I said, it's okay, no worrying. And then she said, what are you talking, Mommy? He said, why you said a little that? You don't see the reality, Mommy? I said, no, I believe God. I believe God no matter what. I said, I believe God. Something could have happened.
Maria and her children's heartbreaking circumstances caught the attention of one of our ministry partners, God's Pit Crew.
She has been through so much tragedy, and then to have this hurricane hit, she didn't want to ask for help, wanted to do it on her own. But obviously this is much bigger than her, and she couldn't do this alone. But she wanted to, Boy, those are the kind of people we just love to connect with, because it means so much to them to receive the help. It's got to be one of those things where you just want to sit down and say, I quit, I give up. I just can't do anymore. But not Maria. She's continued, it seems, to try to push forward and believe that God would provide a way to help her. And obviously through Joyce Meyer Ministries and the Hand of Hope, that's going to happen. Maria, it's great to finally meet you. Can we go inside for a minute?
Of course, we can go inside.
All right. Can you just tell us a little bit about what happened to you and your family during the hurricane?
Well, when we come back here, this is a disaster, and I cannot go through in the house, so I stayed like 7-8 days around driving, and I stayed sometimes inside the house, try to be inside, you know, but everything fell down. The roofing fell down, the ceiling fell down, all my bed and everything in the house. So.
Yeah. Well, we know it's been a tough road for you for a while now, but we're blessed to be here today to tell you that Joyce Meyer Ministries and Hand of Hope is going to fully fund the rebuilding and refurnishing of your entire home for you.
Oh my God.
And God's Pit Crew is going to send volunteers back to do all the work. So we're going to put you back. Joyce is going to help rebuild your house. So how cool is that?
I know. I really, when she cried, you know, I feeling like I'm so close. I said to her, the God, you know.
She was telling me that when she lost her husband and her child, that it was Joyce Meyer's ministry that helped her. She watched her, and it helped her, through
like
her
helping
hurt.
me heal.
Okay, well, I'm going to go through and start measuring everything, and then me and you go get back together.
Okay.
I think it's amazing. I think it's really a blessing, and I truly appreciate what she's doing for my family. I think it's incredible what she's doing for other people too, helping people that are in need.
Today is such a big day. This is the day that Maria and her children get to walk into their newly restored home. After such difficult times, actually living in their car for a while and waiting for months for this moment, we can't wait to share it with them.
That's my favorite.
Oh, I know.
You guys want it back. Look, see.
Maria, this is such a big day. Tell me how excited you and the kids are to see inside those doors.
Oh my God, super excited. Already excited with the garden and everything. My swing, that's a love.
I noticed the first thing you guys did was run right to the swing.
Yes, I love my swing. Actually, we stay here with the hurricane with Matthew sleeping because we don't have a place.
Yeah.
So, yes, I love that.
Goodness.
And I read a book and stuff here.
Tell me what this day means to you.
Wow, God surprised me. Imagine what I feel in my heart, my mind. Extremely happy, extremely melting. The God stay hear me, no matter what, that He hear me.
That means so much.
So much, yes. The God never left. It looked like He left, but it's not because He showed me that He here. So I'm very blessed, happy.
Yeah, when life is so hard and things are torn away from you, we need that reminder that God is still here and that He's taking care of us.
And Lord, we thank you for Maria and her family. And Lord, I just pray right now that your hand would be upon this house, this home, this family.
And then the moment the family was waiting for.
Okay, you ready? All right, let's go inside.
Oh my God, it's extremely hot.
Come in, take a look. Do you like it? Here, let's come
It's so beautiful. You see, God is good. What I told you, God, go take care.
Here we go. There you go. Everybody go right on in.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, no, the corner of bed. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Wait, I can do my makeup here.
When I saw this, something told me that I wanted to give you this. And it says, it's a necklace, and it says, I am enough. It says, I am worthy. You hear that? And then over here, it says, I am loved. And then right here, it says, I am worthy, I am strong, I am loved, and I am enough because I am beautifully and wonderfully made. So you remember that's so beautiful. There you go.
That's your room, Ryan. Okay.
All right, give me your overall impressions. How do you guys feel about everything?
I love it.
You love it?
So happy with everything. Everything looks good. Everything looks new. It's a blessing.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I love the kitchen a lot. The kitchen is beautiful. If I made the kitchen, I would have chose the same tile.
Oh, that says so much. That says so much.
Yes, that's why he won like that.
And you guys have needed some work in the kitchen for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
For a long time.
Maria, are you happy?
Oh my goodness. It's melt to my heart for everybody and God and me Joyce, me Johnson family, God group.
God's pit crew. They're volunteers.
It's amazing.
They just all work so hard.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Well, thank you all very much. It's so great. Thank you. It is such an exciting thing to see.
Yes, man.
The joy on your faces.
And Tommy's joy, thank you so much. And
absolutely.
I send a hug. That's for next hug.
This is Joyce's hug. Okay.
Yeah, that's our Miss
We will
Joyce.
pass it along. What does it feel like when you're at this point and you've worked so many hours and your volunteers have been so wonderful? You show the family the house and they are so happy.
Well, relief to start with, but just lots of joy. You know, that's what the volunteers come away from their homes and travel down here and sleep in Sunday school rooms and work 15, 16-hour days. That's what they work for, is that moment when the family sees it, and just to see the joy on Maria's face and her family today. And if we had to work here for a year, it would have been worth it. So, yeah, it's just, what a blessing to know that we've been a part of making a difference in her life.
It is such an honor for us at Joyce Meyer Ministries Hand of Hope to work with God's pit crew, to bring these kind of joyful days to life. We couldn't possibly make this happen without you and all of your volunteers and all of our partners who pull it all together. So it really is wonderful to see how God allows us all to have a little hand in the gifts that He gives people.
This is what the body of Christ is supposed to look like. You know, everybody coming together for common purpose and common cause, and that's to be the hands and feet of Jesus. This is where the rubber meets the road right here. Maria, it's our honor to give you the keys to your house.
You know, it is a beautiful thing
that in the midst of such devastation, we could see something so spectacular happen, and it's only possible through Christ. You see, when we can share the love of Jesus, even in the midst of such difficult circumstances, smiles grow on faces. Families have hope in hopeless situations. And we are so grateful that you allow us, all of us at Joyce Meyer Ministries, through our Hand of Hope outreaches, to be here. But it's not about what we are doing here. It's about what we are doing here, you and us together, because we can't do it without you. So let me ask you this. Are you a part of Joyce Meyer Ministries? Have you given toward our special outreaches through Hand of Hope? Are you a partner with the ministry providing the gospel everywhere all the time? If not, let me invite you to join us. There is nothing better than seeing smiles on faces because they now know that there's a God who loves them enough in their darkest hour to send strangers to help them. You can be one of those people who are doing more than just seeing a problem and sitting back and wishing that you could do something. You can be a person who acts. We hope that you'll call us right now. Go to our website, joycemeyer.org. You can get all the information about how you can make a difference. You can pray, you can give your finances, but you will be right here with us as together we share Christ and love people in their darkest hours.
Well, what a powerful story of God's faithfulness. I'm so happy we could be part of Maria's restoration. Meeting people's physical needs is the most powerful evangelism there is. So thank you for joining with us and making all this possible. And if you want to be a part of helping more people and sharing hope, contact us now and do what you can. I love you and thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.